So guys, here we are, MMA UK News. I was myself, Stoomboy, as always, MMA UK BJJ show. So talking about Grapplefest 11, it's going to be Saturday, 26th of February. Going to be at the usual place, so Fusion Nightclub, Fleet Street in Liverpool. Doors open, I believe, around about 3-ish, 3:30. First fight kicks off about 4 p.m. So Grapplefest are very punctual. So guys, make sure you're in the doors as quickly as possible. Make sure you're getting your space of where you want to be. And the first fight will kick off at 4 p.m. Now, tickets are all sold out. So if you're looking for a ticket, unfortunately, you're not going to get one. You might be lucky. Some fighters might have a couple of tickets left, but I very much doubt it. I say these tickets went very, very quickly. I think Chris said they sold out 6 weeks ago, which was absolutely unbelievable. So, only place you're going to be able to view it then is Flow Grappling. Now, I can't stress this enough. I've been saying it from the first video, or the first interview we did. Flow Grappling, when you go onto Flow Grappling to order it, it automatically defaults to a yearly subscription, so it'll charge you the full year's price, which I believe is about 114, 117 pounds. So make sure you do choose the monthly options. There is a monthly option there, so I think it's about 12 or 14 pounds. So make sure you do choose that, and do not get stung for the full year if you're only wanting it for Grapplefest. So it's going to be Daisy Fresh coming over with an absolute team of animals, all the way from, obviously, Mount Vernon, I believe, Illinois, coming over to take on the best that Europe and the UK has to offer. My next guest, obviously, was on the last show, Grapplefest 10. Absolutely beautiful submission, a dash choke submission, come away with the victory. So Aidan Woodley of Northeast Jiu Jitsu. Now, Aidan is going to be up against Philippe Geyer. So Philippe Geyer, I believe, coming over, and yeah, looking to take on Aidan. So it's going to be a very, very interesting matchup we're going to see. So Aidan, listen, always a pleasure to talk to you, buddy. How you doing?
Yeah, good, you?
I'm very well. I'm very well. So obviously Grapplefest 10 then. So you were on Grapplefest 10. I know we spoke before it and you were absolutely buzzing to get on the show. And then obviously to finish it off, obviously the victory, come away with a victory, and again a submission victory as well. Must have been absolutely brilliant for you.
Oh yeah, it was class. The whole build up, the whole day, I was so nervous as well. But like, it's weird once you get step onto the mat, the nerves just went away. It was like all I could hear was like the lads were sat up at the top on the balcony, and that's all I could hear. Like nobody else really felt like they were in the room at that time. But when you're in the back and you've got like the Rotolos were walking around and like Dante's walking around, it was like, shit, what am I doing here?
Listen, the Tolos are probably saying the same though. We were there and we had Aidan Woodley walking around.
That'll be it. That'll be what they'll be saying as well. We took that back with them.
Definitely. And then, obviously, Grapplefest 10, you mentioned there, obviously, once you step on the mat, you don't really hear what's going on. Obviously, you can hear like maybe corner and some teammates and stuff like that. But it's a brilliant atmosphere as well. I mean, obviously going on to the match and being there, the atmosphere is absolutely awesome.
It's quite intense because you've got I didn't realize like the size of the club, but then the mat space is like half of the nightclub, and then you've got and then on top of that, like you've got everyone sitting above you, sitting beside you. It's pretty intense when you're walking around and stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely a great atmosphere. Definitely one of the best atmospheres I've seen, certainly for a submission only event. So and it's a very knowledgeable crowd as well. I mean, obviously the crowd, they all know what's happening, because obviously you go to some events and some crowd maybe are not too hot on the rule sets or different submissions and stuff like that. Whereas obviously the Liverpool crowd know exactly what's happening.
It's like when you go to like MMA events. I remember going to the UFC down in London a few years ago, and some guy, one of the fights, a guy was on someone's back, and he's like, "Oh, finish the guillotine." And it's like, "What are you talking about?" Someone's back. He's got really naked choking. Like, there's just no idea. But then when you go to like a grappling event, it's totally different. Everyone seems to obviously know what they're actually talking about a bit more.
Yeah, definitely. And then what about you? Obviously, Christmas and New Year's out the way, so obviously back fully training again. How's everything going with training for yourself?
Yeah, it's going really good. Christmas kind of died off, like I was saying before. I was bad like over the Christmas period, and then since the New Year, it's just been full go. Everyone's been training hard. There's like it feels like every sub-only event and every competition is like people in the gym, like on them. Like I think we've got, so from Grapplefest, I think there's like 3 weekends in a row where we're all going to be on like a different sub-only show. So it's like 3 weekends away, rather fighting on them or going down to support lads. So it's going to be a busy year, I think.
Yeah. And that's one thing I know about Northeast Jiu Jitsu. I mean, even if guys aren't on shows, they're always willing to come in and give you hard rounds and so on.
Yeah, it's non-stop. Everyone's just constantly pushing each other.
Yeah, definitely an awesome gym. Obviously, a great gym at Northeast Jiu Jitsu. Anybody that's in the area, obviously, if you're visiting or that, definitely hit these guys up. As I say, you will get some fantastic rounds. And there's guys do come from all over the UK to come and obviously visit you guys as well.
And every Sunday, I mean, we normally get like a few people from other gyms around the area, but every now and then you'll get people come from like down the country or from like up Scotland or somewhere, and they'll just come and visit for like the Sunday up mats are normally rammed. And everyone, like today, everyone was just no-gi rounds for just the whole 2 hours or whatever it was on for.
Definitely. And then what about Grapplefest 11? So obviously got the call up for that. As he had a fantastic performance on Grapplefest 10. So I'm not surprised you've obviously got a call up for Grapplefest 11. But how did you find out that you were going to be on the show?
So we put that post on Instagram, asking about like every post that he had put, I would like comment saying I'll want another match on it. But then he put one on Instagram, and I'd messaged him again saying like I'll do under 100 purple again. He said he had already had a match, and it was just he was waiting to confirm it in the next few weeks or whatever. So I knew I got one pretty much straight away after the last event, really.
Yeah. And what about your opponent? Obviously, Philippe Geyer. I mean, we spoke the last time. I mean, you don't really worry about opponents. As I say, you're just, as long as there is someone there. So, do you know much about Philippe at all? Or again, is it still the same?
I watched, like, so I've seen the interview you done with him the other day, and I'll check someone out, like, straight away. Like, I'll have a look, maybe see if they've got, like, an Instagram or something like that. And I'd seen he's a bit more wrestly than maybe most people. It looks like he's got a big wrestling background, but
yeah,
that's about all I've really looked at, to be honest. Like I said, I'm not really bothered. I'm just going to do what I'm going to do, and then I mean, his wrestling does look pretty sick. With some of the stuff he has put on, it does look like he's got a really good wrestling background. So
yeah. But again, wrestling, I'd say it's good having that wrestling background, but obviously come in against, I'd say it doesn't always work in jiu-jitsu, as you know.
That's it. Like, if you might be able to wrestle, but if you can't pass or whatever, like, I don't know if you can pass, you might be able to pass. But if you've got a good wrestling background, but you don't know the actual jiu-jitsu side of it, then
yeah. Definitely. And then what about this year then? So obviously I know that you love competing, you love to be out there and amongst it. So obviously Grapplefest is going to be one of your main focuses this year again. So what do we plan on seeing from you, Aidan, over the next 12 months?
I'm just going to try and get like as many sub-only shows as I can in. I'm going to try and get as many competitions as I can in. But then I'm looking to do ADCC in May, depending like on what all the stuff is, with like flying and whatever. At the minute, I've checked it out, and it looks like it should be pretty simple, straightforward. I don't think you've got any isolating to do there or isolating back, so I think that should be all right. So that'll be probably the main goal for the first half of the year, and then see what happens for the second half. I don't know. Hopefully ADCC.
Definitely. I mean, I think the travel will be good. The travel will be fine, certainly in May, because I know that last year I know we were locked down for the first part of the year, but I think it was around about April, May, June time, we started fully opening up, and the world was open for travel. So I think you'll be fine. Obviously, traveling wise. So well, fingers crossed. So.
I've seen that they're talking about trying to scrap all the rules by March or something, or by the end of March. So I'm hopefully that'll be about time, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we spoke before we came on here. I mean, COVID, unfortunately, is going to be something that we're going to have to live with. We can't be shutting down the country or other countries as well every time there's a COVID outbreak. I mean, unfortunately, it's just going to be something. I know that maybe at the start, and obviously the first year or so, it was quite strict. A lot of people were taking it seriously. But now, I think it's come to a point now where we're just like, do you know what? We're all going to get it. We're all going to get it. So we just need to grin and bear it, basically.
Just get it and get over it, kind of thing.
Yeah. definitely. And especially jiu-jitsu. I mean, not just jiu-jitsu, but any kind of combat sports. I mean, obviously we're close training, we're competitions and stuff like that. I mean, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. As long as we look after each other, make sure each other are okay, make sure if you do have it, obviously you're not coming into training and stuff like that. So, but yeah, as I say, we'll get by. As I say, hopefully March, April, May time, we're good to go. We'll be able to travel and stuff like that properly. So, and then what about you? Obviously, I know we only spoke obviously a couple of months ago, but anybody you want to shout out to? So obviously friends, family members, teammates, anything like that, Aidan.
Yeah, so first, like, obviously the teammates, like everyone at Northeast Jiu Jitsu who keeps pushing us every day, like hard rounds every day, that's going to play a massive part, hopefully, in this year. And then last time I didn't give, like, my wife a shout out, so I'd like to give her a shout out this time because, well, to be fair, like, I work shifts, so when I'm on one shift, I'll be training all week, and then the next shift, she'll be watching. Like, she doesn't get a break from the bench. She'll be sitting there watching him whilst I'm out training on the nights. So
yeah.
Can't really make it if she wasn't there watching the boy for us.
David, I can't believe you forgot her the last time.
And I was so full of nerves, I think.
I'm pretty sure that she remind you that you forgot her. Did she tell you?
No, she never mentioned it.
No, that's fine. Listen, definitely a big shout out to your missus, as I said.
Hi.
Wives and girlfriends, I mean, that's our boyfriends, husbands, or whatever. I mean, as I said, a lot of the times we wouldn't be able to do this without them. So,
Really.
as I say, they let us go out and train as much as we need. Sometimes they wash our geese. They make sure we're all right.
She doesn't do any of that. She doesn't do that bit.
But they make sure we're fed, and I mean, if you've got sore muscles or whatever, you've got somebody to complain to. And so yeah, big shout out to obviously the other half. So as I say, without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do this. So yeah, guys, listen, it's going to be Saturday, 26th of February. So Fusion Nightclub, Fleet Street in Liverpool. Daisy Fresh versus Europe. So that's going to be a great event. It's going to be a fantastic event. As the last event was brilliant, this event's better. And this is something that the guys at Grapplefest, the team at Grapplefest, are outdoing themselves every single time. And you think to yourself, Aidan, where are they going to go next? Because, do you know what I mean? Last time, we said this the last time, I mean, the show was brilliant. And then obviously they've come out with the Grapplefest 11.
And even when you look at the prelim card, like, that's just stacked. Like, if that was on any other show in the country, that's a good card just to start with.
Yeah. I'd say some awesome people on that prelim card. I'd say straight from the very first fight, you've got things like Jared Schaefer, Jack Hazard, all the way up to obviously the main event on the prelims. So obviously Chris Leeson, Jaws McManus, and then every fight in between is absolutely awesome. So as I say, that could be a main card in itself. So yeah, guys, get on Flow Grappling. Make sure you choose the monthly options. As I say, if you're only going to get it for this event, there's no tickets left. So I know Chris is still getting messages. Have you got any tickets? Have you got any tickets? Guys, there is none left. Absolutely none left. So stop messaging Chris. So just get on Flow Grappling and get yourself sorted there. So Aidan Woodley is going to be up against Philippe Geyer. So again, promises to be another great event. Obviously, Aidan's looking to come away with the victory again after Grapplefest 10. So all the best to you on the night, Aidan. So always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to speak to you, Aidan. Yeah,
I enjoy them. They're good. They're getting everyone out there. They must be grafting away with these. How many you got today? Like 4 or 5 or something?
I think I've got 4 today. Well, what I do is, I don't know if you see like MMA events and stuff like that. Usually they handpick half a dozen people. Whereas when I do these, especially grapplers like Jiu Jitsu or whatever, whenever there's an event like this, I want to talk to everybody because I want everybody out there. So yeah, listen, and it's funny because the guys at MMA UK News in the background that do all the kind of the YouTube channels and they make sure everything's all updated, they're trying to keep up with me, Aidan. So they're struggling, man. They're absolutely struggling. But no, listen, as I say, I just love it. As I said, having a chat with you guys and not just getting your name, not just promoting Grapplefest, but obviously you guys as well. So that was the big goal. I mean, me and you spoke the last time. That was one of my kind of big goals. I want to see you on Grapplefest all the time. I want to see you on Polaris and stuff like that. So yeah, listen, anything I can do, you know me. Do you know what I mean? I'm 100% behind you guys. So,
Great, man.
So yeah, but I'll be at the event this time. I didn't make it the last time. Obviously, I had some family issues, but I'll be at the event this time. So yeah, me and you'll grab a chat. So I'll be able to get to see your match. Plus, you're going to get to sit back, chill, and watch the main event, the main card. So, so it'll be a good
I was on
night.
pretty. I think I was on about 4 or 5 fights last time, so I managed to like kind of watch the full card. But I think this time I'm maybe.
I think you're
4
about
off the
4
top
away
or
from the
something.
end, yeah. 4 away from the end of the prelims. So at least you'll get to see the full main
Full
card.
main card, aye.
Awesome main card as well. So, but yeah,
Aye.
listen, we'll speak next month. But listen, train safe, buddy. All right.
Yeah.
And enjoy the rest of your training, and we'll see you next month. All right.
Cheers, man. See you next month.
Take it easy, buddy.
Cheers.